This is the MittCast.
It is time for the world to plainly speak three truths.
It's all about the next president, Mitt Romney.
1. Iran must be stopped. 2. Iran can be stopped.
With all the latest, here's Justin Hart.
And 3. Iran will be stopped.
This is the MittCast for January 25th, 2007. From mymanmitt.com, this is Justin Hart. Welcome. All right, I hope you had a chance to hear the full speech that Governor Romney gave in Israel about Iran. If you didn't, you can download it from our podcast or from mymanmitt.com. Look on the left column when you get to the website for the feature on Iran. Now we've come to the subject du jour, the competition for the hearts and the minds of conservatives. I don't think you can listen to that speech about Iran and not come away convinced of Romney's conservative credentials. What's more, Romney is articulate and eloquent, which is something we desperately need right now in a commander-in-chief, with all respect to President Bush. Now, some would question Mitt's conservative values. Most recently, the charge has come from one of the competitors, Senator Brownback, who threw his hat into the ring last weekend. Now, first, there was a really pithy flyer that was handed out at the March for Life, and it boils down to this. People question, was Mitt Romney pro-choice? And the answer is yes, he was. At least publicly, he was. Now, has he changed his mind, and is he now pro-life? Yes, publicly and privately. In my mind, the charge of flipping is really flippant. I mean, this week, my man Mitt attended the March for Life and heard some very moving testimonies of those people who actually had abortions, but now regret it. And listen, if we can offer our support and redemption to those who actually had abortions, why can't we offer that same support to those who now agree with us? Dan Reel, who writes for realworld.com, R-I-E-H-L World, he notes, I don't care much about any flip-flopping charges. People and cultures change. I want an articulate leader who can lead America based upon her common will and the challenges of today, not some ironclad icon of one particular position on one specific point. America faces too many complex challenges to bet her future on one trick pony of any sort. Now, there's been a lot of discussion. A few days ago, Senator Brownback came out on the attack against Mitt. Matt Lewis, however, of townhall.com, makes some interesting remarks about Brownback's own, quote, lifelong dedication to the pro-life movement. CBN News is quoting various sources who knew Brownback in earlier years, saying that he wasn't so pro-life back then. In fact, CBN put this question to him in an interview, and I'm going to play you his response. The question was, why did he not just come out and say he was pro-life at the beginning of the 94 race rather than switching during the race? Here was Senator Brownback's reply.
I was in the same position in 1994 as I am today for as far as being pro-life. I didn't articulate it then. I thought, and this is just getting into politics, that I would be better off saying the specific areas of the issue rather than are you pro-life or pro-choice. So when people would ask me, where are you on the issue, I'd say I'm against taxpayer funding of abortion. I'm against it being used in foreign and military bases. I would articulate all these positions that are a pro-life position. And they say, well, okay, where are you? Are you pro-life or pro-choice? And I'd go back and articulate the specific stance on it. So I'm in the same position now as I was then. I just say, the short end, I'm pro-life. Now, do you want to know any of the specifics? I'd be happy to answer it.
Listen, we can all recognize that the abortion issue is a hot topic on both subjects. And the person who leads the country is not just leading 60+% of the majority of people in the United States who really favor a lot of the pro-life stances, especially when it comes to something as important as the partial birth abortion issue. But we need to recognize that, there are issues that people are sensitive to. I'll give you a case in point. I love the Family Research Council. I love a lot of the information they put out. I received a while back an email from them, and the first article was about the fight against same-sex marriage. And I was really, really proud of the details, the research, and the arguments that they made. The second article showed a picture of 4 people kneeling on a sidewalk in front of a Planned Parenthood abortion clinic. Now, I understand the reasoning behind them being there, but I don't use my faith in that way. If I'm going to pray, I'm going to pray in private for those souls. I'm going to pray with my friends, but I'm not going to pray for the camera. And maybe that's something specific to the Mormon faith. Maybe that's just my own personal feeling. I don't know. Regardless, there are certain elements of the pro-life movement that I think the pro-life movement recognizes itself that are abhorrent to some people. So, for example, we learned from past marches, the posters, the marches, the slogans were all incredibly positive on Monday. But if you walked up 8th Street, on one of the fences you had a huge 20-foot by 12-foot poster of an aborted arm of a fetus. And it repelled me. Yes, abortion is abhorrent. Yes, I am pro-life. But I'm not going to disgust people by putting that in front of their faces. It's just not my style. As Senator Brownback noted, it wasn't his style to define himself as pro-life or pro-choice in the 94 election. He got to the details. Now Mitt has gotten to the details, and he's made known his conversion and his journey to the pro-life movement. I hope that just as we can accept those who have actually had abortions and regretted it, we can accept a politician that recognizes the values of the pro-life movement and is willing now to stand up for them. That includes Romney, and that includes Brownback. This is Justin Hart from MyManMitt.com. A special thanks to Voice One Productions who helped us with these intros. You'll be seeing more of these in the future. If you have any suggestions, or if you want more information on who we are, you can visit MyManMitt.com. Have a great day.
This has been a presentation of MyManMitt.com and Voice One Productions. For more information, visit VoiceOnePro.com.